Urologist, drink water like this to stop nighttime urination. Secrets. Seniors wish they knew sooner. It is a subtle, often overlooked truth that the simple act of drinking water, a habit universally lauded for its life-sustaining properties, can ironically become the silent saboteur of peaceful sleep, especially as we advance in years. Many individuals find themselves repeatedly jolted awake from their slumber between 2 hours a.m. and 3 hours a.m., even when their bladders do not signal an urgent fullness. This seemingly minor disturbance, a quiet error in daily routine, transforms what should be a time of restorative rest into a nightly battle for countless respected elders across India and beyond. The anticipation of a long-awaited sleep after a demanding day often dissolves into a frustrating cycle of wakefulness as the persistent urge to urinate returns again and again, just as the body begins to yield to the sweet embrace of relaxation. Mornings arrive not with invigoration, but with lingering fatigue, heavy limbs, and a mind shrouded in fogginess, leaving even the comforting warmth of a cup of chai unable to dispel the deep-seated weariness. However, there is a profound sense of hope to be found in understanding this predicament, for a better, more restful way of living is entirely within reach. Through insights carefully compiled from the collective wisdom of experienced urologists and the lived experiences of many, this comprehensive guidance unveils the precise methodologies for consuming water in a manner that will restore your nights to a state of profound tranquility. As individuals gracefully navigate the journey beyond the age of 55, a subtle yet perplexing nocturnal transformation frequently begins to manifest. One might retire for the evening after a nourishing dinner, anticipating an effortless descent into peaceful sleep, only to find oneself roused repeatedly throughout the hours of darkness by a familiar, insistent summons, the undeniable need to seek out the nearest lavatory. For some, this interruption may occur just once, a fleeting moment of disruption, but for many, it becomes a distressing routine of 2 or even 3 nocturnal excursions. It is not uncommon for individuals to resign themselves to this new reality, attributing it simply to the inevitable march of age. Yet the underlying truth points to a more intricate physiological narrative unfolding within the body, a narrative that, once comprehended, unlocks the pathway to profound relief. A pivotal hormonal shift accompanies the aging process. The body's nocturnal production of vasopressin, a crucial antidiuretic hormone, undergoes a significant decline. During our younger years, robust levels of vasopressin efficiently instruct the kidneys to decelerate their urine production while we sleep, thereby safeguarding our rest from unwanted interruptions. With diminished vasopressin, however, the kidneys continue their tireless filtration of fluids at a consistent pace, even during the hours when the body yearns for repose. This unchecked activity results in a greater volume of urine being generated, causing the bladder to fill more rapidly and prematurely, disturbing sleep long before the body is naturally prepared to awaken. Concurrently, the kidneys themselves, though not succumbing to disease, gradually become marginally less efficient, a natural adaptation that unfolds with time. The intricate filtering process slows, and the delicate balance of bodily fluids requires a more extended period to adjust. This subtle alteration signifies that even if one maintains the same daily water intake as in previous years, the aging body may no longer be capable of processing it with the same gentle, rhythmic efficiency. To further complicate this intricate physiological dance, the bladder too undergoes a transformation, becoming markedly more sensitive. In the vibrancy of youth, the bladder possessed the remarkable capacity to comfortably hold a volume of 400 to 500 mmol of urine before transmitting the urge to void. Yet, after the age of 60, this threshold diminishes considerably, with signals of fullness often being dispatched to the brain even when a mere 150 ml, approximately half a glass, has accumulated. Once this insistent signal penetrates the consciousness, the mind's pursuit of undisturbed rest is invariably disrupted. Consider the poignant experience of Mohan Ghee from Hyderabad. For years, he steadfastly believed that his twice-nightly awakenings were an unavoidable consequence of his advancing age. He experimented with various countermeasures, from restricting his water intake to resorting to sleeping pills, yet found no lasting solace. It was only when he grasped the profound realization that his bladder nerves, though more sensitive, were not in fact malfunctioning, that a deep sense of tranquil relief washed over him. With the implementation of just a few judicious adjustments to the timing of his fluid intake and even his sleeping posture, he miraculously reclaimed the gift of peaceful sleep. Thus, dear friend, the challenge is not merely rooted in the passage of time, but rather in the evolving manner in which our bodies communicate their needs. By attentively listening to these new expressions, a gentle and fearless path to healing can unfold. Within the fabric of numerous Indian households, a deeply ingrained belief persists among elders that consuming copious amounts of water is an inherently healthy practice, and indeed, water undeniably underpins life itself. However, the critical distinction lies not solely in the quantity of water ingested, but profoundly in the timing of its consumption, a factor that, especially after the age of 60, holds the quiet power to dictate the quality of our nocturnal rest. One might diligently consume the recommended daily volume of water, yet if this intake is skewed towards the latter hours of the day, the bladder may resolutely refuse to grant the respite of uninterrupted sleep. A pervasive and often unnoticed error involves the practice of consuming substantial quantities of water after the clock strikes 6 twans or 7 p.m. It is during these evening hours that the kidneys, attuned to the body's natural circadian rhythms, instinctively begin to decelerate their activity in preparation for nightly rest. When the system is inundated with excessive liquids during this period, the kidneys are paradoxically compelled to intensify their workload throughout the night, tirelessly filtering and propelling urine into the bladder even as the body yearns for stillness. This explains why elders who routinely consume 1 or 2 glasses of water with or immediately following their evening meal frequently find themselves roused from their sleep at 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. by an urge that feels utterly impossible to disregard. Further compounding this issue is the comforting yet disruptive habit of sipping on warm beverages such as tea, milk, or soup late in the evening. For many, this ritual symbolizes a cherished moment of solace, a steaming cup of masala chai or a light bowl of rasam serving as a gentle prelude to bedtime. What is often forgotten, however, is that these seemingly innocuous comforts are, at their core, fluids. Whether it be invigorating ginger tea, soothing haldi milk, or a comforting thin dal, each contributes significantly to the total fluid intake, and when consumed after the sun has set, these liquids subtly and stealthily accumulate within the bladder. The inevitable consequence is a familiar cycle: disturbed sleep, morning steeped in exhaustion, and occasionally even the discomfort of leg pain or the cognitive cloudiness known as brain fog, all stemming from inadequate rest. Another silent yet equally impactful habit is the preemptive visit to the toilet just in case before retiring for the night. This action, on the surface, appears logical and even responsible, an act of foresight. However, by compelling the bladder to empty when it is not genuinely full, the intricate network of nerves within its lining begins to assimilate an erroneous message. Over time, the bladder is conditioned to perceive itself as full even when it contains a mere third of its capacity. This phenomenon, aptly termed bladder overtraining, generates deceptive urges, prompting awakenings in the dead of night despite the negligible amount of urine present. Beyond these specific errors, another crucial but frequently disregarded aspect is the failure to distribute water intake evenly throughout the day. Some seniors, perhaps out of forgetfulness or a lack of awareness, consume only meager amounts of water during the morning and afternoon hours, then suddenly recall the necessity of hydration and attempt to compensate by drinking larger volumes in the evening. This imbalanced approach places undue and untimely pressure on the kidneys. the ideal strategy mandates that the majority of one's daily water intake should occur between the hours of sunrise and 4 p.m. Thereafter, fluid consumption should be progressively and gently tapered down, allowing the body ample time to prepare for its nightly restorative phase. Finally, the temperature of the water consumed also plays a surprisingly significant role. The practice of drinking very cold water, particularly that drawn directly from the refrigerator in the evening, can actively irritate the bladder lining. This chilling effect heightens the sensitivity of the nerves, a particular concern for older adults whose digestive processes are often naturally slower. In contrast, warm or room temperature water is considerably gentler on both the stomach and the bladder, especially during the hours after sunset. Allow me to illustrate this with the account of Sushila Maji from Pune, a resilient 72-year-old woman who endured nearly 2 years of fragmented sleep. Each night, without fail, around 2:30 a.m., she would find herself needing to use the toilet, a pattern that persisted even when she conscientiously limited her water intake. She, like many others, resigned herself to the belief that this was simply an inescapable facet of aging. Yet, she confided, "I always have ginger tea at 9 p.m. It helps me feel calm." With a gentle explanation, it was clarified that while ginger possesses beneficial properties, consuming tea at such a late hour introduced liquid into her system just before her body sought rest. Embracing this insight, she made one pivotal adjustment. She shifted her ginger tea ritual to 6 p.m. and before bedtime permitted herself only 2 small sips of warm water. Within an astonishing single week, she began to experience uninterrupted sleep for 5 to 6 hours at a stretch. The lost sparkle returned to her eyes, and she remarked with newfound wonder, "I never knew water could behave like this." Dear listener, these subtle errors are not born of fault or negligence. For too long, society has failed to impart the crucial knowledge of how to adapt our daily habits as we gracefully mature. But armed with this newfound understanding, you possess the power to reclaim your nights, gently, wisely, one conscious glass of water at a time. It is a common sight in countless Indian homes for elders to commence their day with the familiar comfort of a warm cup of tea. Yet in the bustling hours of the early morning, the vital act of hydrating with sufficient water often slips from memory. Then, as the evening shadows lengthen, a sudden realization dawns, prompting an attempt to compensate by consuming 2 or 3 glasses of water after 6 p.m. Unbeknownst to them, this very pattern sets the stage for a night plagued by broken sleep, eyes heavy with fatigue, and a mind restless with fragmented thoughts. But what if the very when you drink water held as much, if not more, significance than the how much you consume? As the years accumulate, our kidneys and bladder evolve, becoming increasingly attuned and sensitive to the precise timing of fluid intake. During the daytime, the body operates at its peak. Metabolism is more robust, the heart performs its vital pumping duties with greater vigor, and the kidneys are optimally equipped to efficiently filter and maintain the delicate balance of bodily fluids. It is for these compelling physiological reasons that urologists across the globe, including many highly respected medical professionals within India, unequivocally advocate for seniors to consume the predominant portion of their daily water intake between the hours of 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. This strategic timing affords the body ample opportunity and space to gently process the ingested fluids, allowing the bladder to thoroughly empty itself before the sun dips below the horizon. This thoughtful approach confers multiple benefits. It helps to alleviate bloating, actively supports robust digestion, and, perhaps most crucially, ensures that the bladder remains calm and quiescent by the time the body instinctively begins its preparations for sleep. Ideally, water should be sipped steadily and deliberately throughout the morning, with slightly increased volumes taken around breakfast, during the mid-morning hours, and accompanying lunch. However, once the clock progresses past 5 p.m., a conscious and gradual reduction in fluid intake should commence. This does not by any means imply that water should be entirely forsaken in the evening, for such a complete avoidance would be detrimental to health. Rather, it is akin to the gentle dimming of lights before bedtime, a slow and deliberate tapering down of intake from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. During this period, one should restrict oneself to small sips, consumed only when a genuine sense of thirst arises. And crucially, after 7:30 p.m., unless specifically instructed otherwise by a medical professional, it is advisable to limit water intake to no more than 150 milliliters, which approximates the volume of a single small steel glass. A pertinent question might arise concerning the consumption of nighttime medications, as many elders are prescribed essential tablets for conditions such as blood pressure, diabetes, or persistent joint pain, all of which undeniably necessitate water for ingestion. In such instances, the optimal strategy involves taking the medication with merely a few sips of water, just enough to facilitate comfortable swallowing but scrupulously avoiding any excess. Should a sensation of thirst manifest as a side effect of medication, a more prudent approach would be to take a spoonful of room temperature water every few minutes rather than consuming a full glass in one go. There is also another quiet habit many seniors unconsciously maintain: drinking just-in-case water before retiring to bed. The rationale often stems from a well-intentioned desire to preempt nocturnal thirst. Yet, this very habit, despite its benign origins, frequently becomes the direct cause of sleep fragmentation at 2 and 6 a.m. Instead, a different, more calming practice is recommended. Dedicate 5 minutes before bedtime to quiet contemplation. Position one hand gently on your chest and the other on your belly. Engage in deep, gentle breaths, inhaling slowly through the nose and exhaling deliberately through the mouth. This simple yet profound exercise effectively calms the nervous system, thereby mitigating the transmission of false signals from the bladder. A gentle clockwise massage of the lower belly can also contribute to relaxing the abdominal area. Let me share the transformative journey of Uncle Romesh, a 70-year-old from Nagpur. He was accustomed to drinking nearly 1 liter of water between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., operating under the mistaken belief that this copious intake would flush his system and facilitate overnight detoxification. However, the steep price he paid was 3 nocturnal visits to the toilet, resulting in mornings that felt profoundly heavy and sluggish. When he intelligently restructured his routine, ensuring that 70% of his daily water was consumed before 3 p.m. and restricting his evening intake to just 1 small glass at 6:30 p.m., the transformation was nothing short of remarkable. Within 2 weeks, his nocturnal awakenings had reduced to a solitary instance, and within a mere month, he was experiencing continuous, undisturbed sleep from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. The profound realization, dear elder, is that the solution does not lie in a drastic reduction of water intake, but rather in a judicious and thoughtful shift in its timing. By granting your body the appropriate temporal framework for hydration, you empower your vital organs to function in harmonious peace and rhythm, which in turn bestows upon your mind the invaluable gift of uninterrupted restorative rest. In the rich tapestry of Indian homes, the evening meal, dinner, transcends its mere nutritional purpose. It embodies a cherished moment of quiet comfort, often shared with beloved family members after the day's labors have concluded. However, as we gracefully age, the very composition of our evening fare, and even more critically, the precise timing of its consumption, subtly but profoundly determines the quality of our nocturnal sleep. Beyond the age of 60, the body develops a heightened sensitivity to specific categories of food, particularly those that directly influence digestion, hydration levels, and the delicate function of the bladder. Consider, for instance, naturally watery foods such as rasam, clear soups, or even a light bowl of thin dal. These dishes project an image of lightness and digestibility, and indeed they are, but only when consumed at the appropriate juncture in the day. When ingested in close proximity to bedtime, they insidiously act as covert sources of fluid, incrementally filling the bladder. Initially, their presence may go unnoticed, yet within a few hours of lying down, the bladder begins its subtle murmuring, which escalates into an insistent plea, ultimately rousing you from your sleep. Furthermore, the allure of comforting evening beverages, herbal teas, haldi milk, or even a modest cup of coffee with milk, presents another layer of complexity. While these drinks may temporarily induce a sense of relaxation, their inherent water content rapidly contributes to the nighttime fluid load. Certain beverages, such as green tea or masala chai, possess mild diuretic properties, meaning they actively encourage the kidneys to produce more urine. For elders, this creates a paradoxical cycle. One drinks these beverages seeking tranquility, only to find oneself awakened precisely when the body is in its deepest need of rest. Certain fruits and vegetables also demand careful consideration regarding their timing. Raw cucumber, fresh tomato slices, succulent watermelon, and even a glass of invigorating orange juice may appear intrinsically healthy, and they are, but their optimal consumption window is firmly before sunset. These particular foods are exceptionally rich in water and natural acids, properties which, in older adults, can significantly amplify bladder sensitivity. Many seniors report experiencing a sudden and compelling urge to urinate after consuming these items, particularly if they form part of their dinner or a late evening snack. Let me recount the experience of Rajesh G. from Ahmedabad, a 68-year-old man who harbored a fondness for a substantial raw salad each night, generously laden with tomatoes, cucumber, and a zesty lemon dressing. He genuinely believed he was making a healthy choice. Yet, unfailingly, each night he would wake 2 or 3 times to make his way to the washroom. It was only after he made the discerning shift to steamed vegetables for his evening meal and relocated his beloved raw salad to lunchtime that he observed a profound difference. Within an astonishing single week, he began to enjoy 6 consecutive hours of undisturbed sleep, a transformation achieved without medication and without any alteration to his total water intake, merely through one simple yet strategic dietary shift. Another insidious contributor to nocturnal awakenings is the consumption of salty foods. Indulging in fried papads, piquant pickles, or overly seasoned curries at night invariably triggers an intensified sensation of thirst. This craving leads to the need for additional water after dinner and often just before bed. This surplus fluid, when combined with the natural aging of the kidneys and a more sensitive bladder, renders nighttime urination an almost inescapable reality. Therefore, dear elder, the objective is not to relinquish your cherished culinary delights, but rather to respectfully acknowledge and honor your body's evolving rhythms. By consciously shifting these hydrating and stimulating items to earlier in the day and opting for lighter, gentler meals in the evening, you grant your physiological system the precious opportunity to truly rest. And when the body is at peace, so too is the mind. When the mind finds its tranquility, sleep, like an old friend, returns, soft, quiet, and profoundly healing. Often, the body yearns not for complex pharmaceutical interventions, but for the subtle elegance of a small shift in established habits, implemented with meticulous care and unwavering patience. This wisdom holds particular resonance when addressing the pervasive issue of nighttime urination. Many elders across India, resigned to what they perceive as an inevitable consequence of aging, experience a profound sense of helplessness. Yet, the liberating truth is that a series of gentle, thoughtfully curated lifestyle adjustments can usher in a quiet and profound relief, achieved not through forceful suppression, but through a deep respect for the body's intrinsic natural rhythms. Let us embark upon this journey with something remarkably simple: morning movement. Beyond the age of 60, the efficiency of our blood circulation naturally diminishes, leading to a tendency for fluids to accumulate subtly in the lower extremities throughout the day. This latent swelling, often imperceptible to the naked eye, becomes a silent agent of disruption at night. When the body assumes a horizontal position for sleep, this collected fluid inexorably migrates back upwards towards the heart and the kidneys, thereby initiating an increase in urine production precisely at the time when the body yearns most for uninterrupted repose. A brisk, short walk bathed in the gentle morning sun, a series of expansive arm stretches, or even light leg movements performed while comfortably seated in a chair can significantly aid the body in releasing this fluid earlier in the day. This proactive approach ensures that the kidneys are considerably less burdened after sunset, paving the way for a more peaceful and unbroken sleep. Next, we turn our attention to the very manner in which you sleep. In many Indian homes, elders traditionally gravitate towards sleeping on their backs, often supported by high pillows or ensconced within heavy mattresses. However, contemporary medical wisdom and the insights of practitioners now increasingly advocate for sleeping on the left side, with a soft supportive pillow cradling the head and another strategically placed between the knees. This specific sleeping posture offers multifaceted benefits. It measurably reduces pressure on the bladder, optimizes digestion, and enhances vital blood flow, thereby allowing your internal organs to rest without dispatching misleading signals to the brain. It is a seemingly minor postural modification, yet countless individuals have reported a profound and discernible improvement within a mere week of adopting this change. Let us also consider the often overlooked aspects of sleepwear and ambient room temperature. Generations of elders were raised with the deeply ingrained conviction that warmth equated to safety and comfort. However, in our present climate, particularly during the humid months, donning thick night clothes or enveloping oneself in heavy blankets can inadvertently cause the body to overheat. This elevation in core body temperature triggers a cascade of physiological responses: increased sweating, heightened thirst, and a consequent surge in kidney activity. Instead, embracing light, breathable cotton clothing for sleep and maintaining an airy, well-ventilated room, perhaps with just the gentle stir of a fan and a thin bed sheet, can make an enormous difference. Your body will remain calm, and crucially, your bladder will maintain its quietude. Furthermore, should you happen to awaken mid-slumber, resist the automatic, ingrained impulse to immediately rush to the bathroom. Instead, pause. Take a moment to gently inquire of yourself, do I genuinely feel a full bladder, or is this merely a fleeting sensation? If the honest answer leans towards the latter, remain still. Engage in 5 deep, deliberate breaths, consciously relaxing your abdominal region. This mindful practice serves as a profound re-education for your bladder, teaching it not to trigger false alarms. With consistent practice, the intricate network of nerves within your body will gradually relearn that not every signal demands an immediate and urgent response. Consider the compelling narrative of Shantami from Kochi, a 74-year-old woman who routinely experienced 2 nightly awakenings, despite her bladder being almost empty. Yet once she embraced the simple changes of sleeping on her side, wearing light cotton clothing, and diligently practicing deep breathing exercises, the quality of her sleep dramatically improved. With a heartfelt smile, she recounted to me, "It feels like my body has become my friend again." Therefore, dear elder, the gift of good sleep is not an extravagant luxury. It is an inherent right, a profound state of rest that your body still profoundly remembers. You are not required to wage war against the natural processes of aging. Your only task is to listen gently and to adjust with wisdom. And when you commit to this gentle attunement, your body will often respond with a quiet yet deeply resonant "thank you," manifesting in the invaluable form of uninterrupted, healing rest. In the course of our lives, we absorb a multitude of beliefs and practices from our cherished elders, our trusted neighbors, and even our well-meaning relatives. Over time, some of these deeply ingrained ideas become firmly established within us as immutable truths. However, when the focus shifts to the delicate subject of nighttime urination, a few pervasive and commonly held beliefs may, ironically, inflict more harm than good. Today, Let us embark on a gentle journey to dispel some of these deeply rooted misunderstandings, approaching the task not with trepidation, but with the illuminating power of knowledge and compassionate understanding. The first widely embraced belief held by many elders is this: by consciously reducing my water intake during the day, I can effectively circumvent the need to wake up at night. On the surface, this reasoning appears entirely logical and straightforward. However, within the intricate internal landscape of the body, a distinctly different physiological process unfolds. When one fails to consume an adequate amount of water throughout the daylight hours, the body succumbs to a mild state of dehydration. As evening descends, the blood becomes noticeably thicker, compelling the kidneys to labor with increased intensity, often resulting in a concentrated burst of urine production precisely as you settle down for sleep. In stark contrast to the popular misconception, consuming sufficient water in the first half of the day, particularly between 6 a.m. and 3 p.m., actually serves to reduce nighttime urination rather than exacerbate it. The second pervasive myth centers on the conviction that nocturnal urination is solely attributable to prostate issues. While maintaining prostate health is undeniably crucial, especially for older men, it is a significant oversimplification to pinpoint it as the exclusive culprit. Women too grapple with the very same issue of nocturnal awakenings due to bladder signals. The multifaceted truth reveals that a sensitive bladder, alterations in sleep architecture, late evening meals, and suboptimal fluid timing all contribute equally to this complex phenomenon. Attributing the problem solely to the prostate can inadvertently delay the implementation of other straightforward yet impactful lifestyle enhancements that hold the genuine potential for relief. Another widespread habit frequently observed is the preemptive visit to the bathroom just in case before retreating to bed, even in the absence of a genuine urge to void. Over an extended period, this seemingly innocuous practice subtly yet effectively trains your bladder to dispatch false signals. Consequently, one begins to wake for minor amounts of urine that in earlier years would have gone entirely unnoticed. A far more efficacious approach is to cultivate trust in your body's innate wisdom and only respond to the call of nature when the urge is unequivocally real. Finally, we address the venerable, age-old practice of consuming warm water at 9 p.m., often rooted in the belief that it aids in cooling the liver or facilitates digestion. However, this late-night liquid, despite its comforting warmth, still unequivocally adds to the overall bladder load. If the ritual of a warm evening drink is deeply cherished, a more judicious strategy would be to consume it earlier, around 6 nights or 6:30 p.m. This adjustment allows the body to still reap any perceived benefits without the concomitant disturbance of later sleep. Therefore, dear elder, true knowledge is not about an outright rejection of time-honored customs. It is about thoughtfully adapting them with an enlightened awareness. Your body, a marvel of enduring wisdom, still listens intently to your signals. The more gently and intelligently you guide it, the greater the measure of peace and comfort it will graciously return to you. Indeed, profound healing often manifests not through potent medicines or intricate dietary regimens, but through a small, quiet change implemented at precisely the right moment. When the quest is for genuinely restful sleep, one of the most accessible and impactful shifts we can embrace lies in the timing of our water intake, not merely what you drink, but fundamentally when you drink it. This simple adjustment may appear too inconsequential to wield significant influence. Yet for countless elders across India, this singular habit has catalyzed a complete transformation in their nightly experience. Allow me to share the inspiring story of Lakshmi Maji, a graceful 70-year-old woman hailing from Coimbatore. She was accustomed to waking 3 times every night, invariably at the same fixed hours, plagued by persistent tiredness, an unsettling restlessness, and a profound uncertainty as to why her sleep had become so shallow and unfulfilling. She, like many, attributed her predicament solely to the inexorable process of aging. However, she then began the transformative practice of consuming the majority of her water during the morning hours and consciously ceased all fluid intake, even mere sips, after 6:30 p.m. Within an astonishing single week, she was experiencing 7 full hours of unbroken sleep. A radiant smile illuminated her face as she exclaimed, "I didn't know my body could still feel this refreshed." And that precisely is the profound message I wish to impart to you today. Your body, an enduring testament to resilience, has not relinquished its capacity for restorative rest. It still retains the innate wisdom of how to heal, how to recover, and how to gracefully return to a state of perfect balance. Sometimes all it requires is your thoughtful support, offered gently, patiently, and with an abundance of love. If the insights shared today have illuminated even one new understanding within you, I would be deeply honored to hear from you. Please take a moment to type the word HOPE in the comment section below. Should a nascent feeling of readiness for change, however small, stir within your heart, that single word may serve as a powerful beacon of encouragement for someone else who is quietly observing, much like yourself. And if you have found this content to be genuinely helpful, I kindly urge you to press the subscribe button, thereby making a small yet significant promise to prioritize your own well-being. Activate the bell icon to ensure you never miss another message crafted specifically for cherished elders like you. Furthermore, if you know of someone, a beloved neighbor, a dear cousin, or your lifelong partner who frequently experiences nighttime awakenings, please extend the invaluable gift of sharing this video with them. You may, through this simple act, be bestowing upon them the precious gift of profoundly better sleep. Until our paths converge again, I extend to you my heartfelt wishes for a night as calm and serene as an April breeze, and a morning as gentle and comforting as your very first sip of chai under the tender embrace of the rising sun. Namaste.